said here.
Stuffed potato, Tampa style Cuban. I've been trying to get this for a while.
There's like not really any skyscrapers.
Take a little while. I'm serious. Tampa is not a city.
It doesn't seem like it.
Okay, first off.
Okay, so I was gonna make this a short video, but I feel like this is gonna be a rant, so it's turning long. So, number one, what is up, Tampa? I mean, I love living in Tampa way more than I do living in Fort Lauderdale, but as an ex-Broward resident, there's no food here that compares. The only restaurant here that's somewhat comparable is Yummy House, but I've never had any food in Tampa that even closely compares to anything that they sell in Broward. So let's get into the Cuban. Miami versus Tampa Cuban. And don't come saying, oh, Fort Lauderdale's not Miami. I've been around, okay? And the Miami Cuban is way better. So let's just get into it. So on my other channel, like I've tried to do multiple channels, and I've like given up on them. And now I have this one that is the one I want to not give up on. Help support the next food vlogger. Anyway, so like I've done other videos about Tampa versus Miami Cuban before, and Miami won hard in those videos. But they were selling me the Miami version. So in Tampa, they have the Tampa version, but only the big restaurants sell it. Pretty much every restaurant sells the Miami version. You must go to specifically the big Cuban restaurants, or one that's known for selling Cuban sandwich. Like most places sell Miami Cuban. So I went to the big Cuban sandwich place in Tampa. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to sound like I'm bashing, but if you live in Tampa, you know where it is. So it was okay, but like, let's just get into it. Now I want some questions, Tampa. Cubanos de Tampa, contéstenme. ¿Por qué? So let's get into the bread. So Miami has like this thin pressed bread, which is much better. Now here they have this big fat puffy bread, which is good. I mean, like the taste of the bread is good and everything, but just as a sandwich bread, the thin Miami version way better, and pressed and hot and pointy edges and everything. They're a little pointier down there. So that's number one. My number one issue is the bread. Way better in Miami. Number two, there is the amount of pork. I don't know if this is an inflation. See, I'm confused because, you know, when I lived down there, the economy was good. It was different than now when the economy is bad. But it can't be inflation because, like, 2 years ago, I was doing these videos, right? And I was saying maybe they can't afford the pork, or maybe they can't afford the pickles or something. But, like, you know, in a Miami Cuban, the pork, I believe this is pernil, is definitely the number one, the main ingredient, right? You definitely are like tasting that pork more than anything else, and it's smoky and everything. Here I wasn't getting so much smoky, and there was a tiny little bit of pork. It was like 20% pork and 80% ham and salami. So the ratio was just bad. And I didn't feel the salami added anything. So in Miami, you'll get like 80% pork and 20% ham. Here it's like 20% pork, 80% ham and salami. And the ham is definitely given Pepperidge Farms honey baked ham or black honey ham or whatever it's called. Every Cuban I've gotten in Tampa definitely is given that Pepperidge Farms. Even the big places like I went to today. Just my opinion. The one thing I liked here was the mustard was really good. There was a very good flavor on the mustard. But you know, the bread was just a no. The ratio was really bad, and Miami wins hard. There's no comparison. Miami Cuban is 100 million billion times better. There's absolutely no comparison. Tampa loses. Sorry, I know people will be mad about this, but I don't care. Mejoren. Do it better.